The series starts off with a guy recalling a past event that is etched into his memory. Kotaro was always challenged by 5 bad guys who would beat him whenever they got an opportunity. They once again challenge him, but Kotaro refuses their challenge as he was moving. Akari Mizuki, the strongest one. Oborozuki Kanai, the basketball prodigy, while the other one was a video game genius, Mangetsu Shigure. He lost to them over 100 times and started bullying him. His neighbor, Mizuki, would always step in to save him, but he never wanted to be pitied. He would often tell her that it was all his fault, but she still worried for him. Before he could run away with teary eyes, Kotaro assures them that he will be back to beat them in one blow. 5 years have passed since the event, and now Kotaro is back to fulfill his promise. As he is talking to himself, his teacher overhears him, and he quickly tells him that he was just minding his own business. Since he passed the entrance exam with flying colors, the teacher is amazed that a genius like him is attending their school, and he heads off to his class. Kotaro is eager to meet the girls from his childhood and instantly starts looking for them. Suddenly, a cheerful girl approaches him from behind, and he wonders why would a lovely lady such as her approach him. As they are in the same class, she wants to show him around, and he can only question himself why someone would suddenly start grabbing him, and the only thing that he can conclude is that she must be into him. He can feel something harder in her abdomen area, and she quickly reveals her incredible abs. While he is dragged around, he finds out that she rejected several guys before and has won the national wrestling tournament. He realizes that the other is Akari, and questions why she never mentioned that she was a girl. His world turns upside down when the others approach him, and he finds out that all 3 of them were girls. He asks why they would hide the truth for him, and apparently, they never even mentioned to each other that they were girls. Kotaro feels that he must be having a nightmare. After all, this was the exact moment he prepared all his life for. Suddenly, another teacher appears and they start clinging to him. After he greets Kotaro, the other doesn't have any idea who this teacher is, and after asking, the other announces a shocking revelation. He is Mizuki, his neighbor, who was into cross-dressing back then. Kotaro can only curse his own life for such a miserable fate. After the classes are finished, each of the popular girls invite him to play their respective sports with them. However, they can't find him in his class and wonder where he might have gone off to. Their PE teacher, Mizuki, confronts them about whether they are planning to bully him once again, but they assure him that they have no such intention. He reminds them of what they did in the past, and the girls tell him that they have long forgotten it. Since Shigure always mocked him, she admits that she only harassed because she loved his tearful face, and the others can only be disgusted with such behavior. She is instructed to apologize to him for everything, and the other 2 also agree with their teacher. However, they are not safe either, since they used to take advantage of his clumsiness as well and mocked him afterward. Kanae intentionally made him change clothes so she could have a peek at his young body, and they are accused of being perverts. In her defense, Kanae proposes that she simply admired his naked body because she loved him. Mizuki doesn't want to hear their excuses anymore and just warns them to never harass him again. Kotaro suddenly walks into the room, assuring Mizuki that it was simply the consequences he faced for losing games to them, and now that he had the opportunity to take revenge, he would like to compete against them once more. However, this time, the activities won't just be limited to their favorite sports. They will have to get out of their comfort zones and pick up football and karaoke. As a punishment, they will have to do the same things that Kotaro suffered. Hearing this, they instantly start arguing with him to avoid the punishment, but he is dead set on making them pay. They will have to take their clothes off, and he won't be just content by just looking at them. He will have to do the same things he suffered. Since they are all in love with him, they could not be happier about the punishment and want to start instantly, but the other has to attend a video call of a girl he likes, much to their astonishment. He initially liked another girl, but the sudden revelation made him disappointed, and now he wants to talk to the girl who encouraged him to take revenge on them. After he goes, the girl's hopes are shattered, and Kanai reveals that she wants to experiment with school uniforms to check which ones are to his liking. They can see that she's going too far, but that's just how love is. Shigur and Akari aren't planning on surrendering as well, and they all pronounce their love for him. Meanwhile, Mizuki rushes off to catch up with Kotaro and asks him about the girl he loves, and after he reveals that it is a VTuber, he criticizes him harshly. The vice president of the student council, Kanai, is admired by almost all the students, while the president drives the girls mad. They are surprised that Kanai can keep such a straight face before him, and she is unaffected by his compliments. Suddenly, Kotaro makes his entrance to challenge him to a basketball game, and everyone comments how disgusting he is to confront their goddess without even praying to her. He instantly goes away, and the president is shocked that someone like him got Kanai excited for a game of basketball. After the class, the two head to the courtroom to play the game. She instantly starts off with getting an advantage over him, propelling him to remove his shirt since he lost points, and she starts lusting over his collarbone. He then manages to get some points, and she can feel that he has gotten better at it. It is her turn to start removing her clothes, and he is embarrassed at seeing her like this. As she is destined to become the president of the student council, it is her duty to fend off perverts like him, and she plans on distracting him with her erotic bra. Her plan succeeds, and he loses his composure, focusing only on her body. She scores more points, and he is forced to remove his shirt, and he is afraid of getting too near him as he might get distracted. Surprisingly, his shot goes in for 2 points, but the other is insistent that it was a 3-point shot. Kotaro realizes that she simply wants to undress, and she removes her skirt. Kotaro constantly tries stopping her, but it's no use, and he will have to focus on the game rather than her underwear. Kanai isn't ashamed of being undressed, and while she is trying to score more points, he accidentally grabs her breasts, and she starts getting flustered. Kotaro quickly apologizes and feels that the other is having a fever, but she tells him that she is just feeling embarrassed. The idea of embarrassment never came to her mind, and suddenly, the president walks in on them. He criticizes her for partaking in such disgusting activities and questions whether Kotaro forced her to remove her dress. To make things clear, he assures her that it was entirely her own decision to remove her clothes, but the other finds it hard to believe that a girl like Kanai could do such a thing. Kanai informs him that it wasn't Kotaro's fault, and the other decides to leave. The press warned him to get away from Kanai before calling him a scumbag. This enrages Kanai, and she instantly confronts him about this. Suddenly, Kotaro scores more points while she was busy, and now they are even. Before heading back, he assures her that he will finish her whole next time, and this was just a warm-up. In a flashback, it is revealed that the two would play basketball with each other. Her father wanted her to head to school 1 hour prior to the class, but Kotaro stepped in since he wanted revenge on her. He declared his punishment back then, and today was a mere glimpse of it. After recalling this, she bursts out laughing and expresses her love for him. She goes after him to reveal her erotic bra to him, and he can only wonder what she would do if she were to become the student council president. While the girls are sitting together to check something on Kanai's phone, a couple of guys discuss how beautiful they are in certain ways. Shigur and Akari are surprised that Kanai has a shirtless picture of Kotaro and questions how she got it. Akari quickly gets jealous, and this was the prime motive behind taking this picture. Shigure doesn't really care about it, and the two can feel that she's somewhat emotionally distant. Even though, to them, it appears that she doesn't care, she is still visibly upset. Kanai suddenly confesses that she realized during the game that she loves him more than anything else in the entire world, and Akari just responds that her love for him is a mountain unable to topple. They overhear Kotaro, who gets his ankle twisted, and the guys quickly take him to the infirmary. The three of them went separately, but circumstances led them to meet up outside the infirmary. But since the guys are visiting him, they cannot check up on him yet. The three start arguing regarding who cares more for him, and it just leads to Kanai revealing her gym shorts to them. Shigur criticizes it as it is not allowed by the school's standard. Oh well, the higher-ups can do whatever they want. Even Akari is surprised by it as she has never seen them before. Shigur can feel that they have no shame when it comes to seducing Kotaro and tries heading into the infirmary, but the other two abruptly stop her. Akari tells her that she is a pervert too, before checking whether she is wearing something erotic inside. They are disappointed that she is wearing normal gym clothes, and Shigur assures them that she will never be counted the same as those two. Since they believe that she isn't committed to Kotaro unlike them, Shigure reveals that she has been playing with her body while thinking about Kotaro since the last few days, and Kanai immediately understands what she means. Shigur believes that the other two might be doing the same thing now that they have gotten his shirtless picture, but Kanai assures her that it wasn't her intention. On the other hand, Akari is surprisingly innocent when it comes to sexual topics and asks what she means by playing, but they don't answer anything. While they are arguing, Kotaro is irritated by the noise coming from outside. Kotaro is absorbed in his phone watching his favorite VTuber, and his classmate tries telling him to do something else than pursue an impossible girl, but he is living in his own delusion. He believes that he will get to meet her, and they will finally start their life together. Akari is worried that the girl is ahead of them and at least wants to know her identity. Since it is better to anticipate the enemy's actions, the three devise a plan to find out who exactly the girl is. Shigur quickly approaches him to ask about the game he is interested in, and the other two are amazed by her tactics. As she sees his smartphone, she realizes that he wasn't even playing a game, but rather watching a VTuber streaming it. To demonstrate her gaming skills, she plays the game, and he is instantly impressed with her skillful fingers. She uses them for more than just games thinking about you, buddy. Now that she has managed to win a game, Shigur wants him to answer whether she is better than the other. Kotaro understands that she is more skillful, but that doesn't mean anything to him. Shigur affirms that he should only think about her and get too close to him. Kotaro doesn't feel a dime of likeness toward her and instantly tells her to get away as she is invading his personal space. Shigure returns disappointed, and Akari criticizes that she got too emotional and ruined all the chances. Nonetheless, it is Kanai who will now try to extract information out of him. She instantly asks him to discuss love with him, and even though he refuses, she still continues. She reveals everything about the person she loves, Kotaro, and now she wants him to tell her the qualities of the girls he loves. After a bit of provocation, Kotaro reveals that he just loves her smile, and Kanai instantly makes a smiling face to let him know that she can smile too. As this wasn't enough, she tells him that her breasts were definitely bigger than the other girl and wants him to touch them to know better. She fails, and the other criticizes her over-emotionally approach. Last one is Akari, and she instantly grabs him to the side and tells him that lately he has been taking extra care of himself. Kotaro can feel that she has some motive behind this, but she assures him that she simply wants to help him regarding his love life. Kotaro decides to reveal how he met her when he moved to Tokyo, and everyone didn't put maximum effort in activities unlike him. This made him a weirdo, and he came across the girl who would do all sorts of things, which made him forget about his life. Akari didn't realize that he was talking about a VTuber and returned to weeping. They comfort her, and Kotaro walks in. He has found out that they were planning this, and now he wants to know their crush's name so he can laugh at them. He doesn't realize that they all love him, and he is astounded at their response. The three idiots still haven't realized that the girl he loves is nothing more than an online persona. Kotatsu is a popular YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers from all around the world. She managed to gather all of them with her gaming skills and her appearance as well. Even when the game is difficult, she never gives up and tries her hardest to go through the stage unscathed. Even though she wears a mask, everyone can see how beautiful she is from a mere glimpse. Nobody can challenge her in Smash, and she tells them her boyfriend is coming over and quits the game. In actuality, the popular streamer is none other than Shigur. As she loved gaming, she decided to try out streaming, and her beautiful appearance and the skill set made her immensely popular in no time. Nobody knows what she looks like since she is always wearing a mask on her streams. Shigur's purity can be defined by her online purchases, and she wants to try out the underwear since Kanai showed him her erotic one as well. Even though he won't see it, she still decides to give it a try. After a few minutes, he arrives at her apartment to compete in a video game, and he is impressed with her gaming setup. Kotaro informs her about the punishment that will be headstands, even though she preferred them to remove their clothes. After a few games, Kotaro is punished in ways that aroused her, and she definitely took pictures to engrave the memory into her mind. After 10 games, Kotaro gets an advantage over her and manages to beat her for the first time in his life. He tells her that it was his plan all along to catch her off guard with his favorite character, and she wants a rematch. Before that, she has to face her punishment, and he instructs her to do the headstand dance. In the mid-air, she realizes that she's wearing the underwear and suddenly makes an excuse that she can't do it. Well, he has more options, and he subjects her to twerking in a certain position. Even though she can't take the humiliation anymore, Kotaro is still not content with it. He gets incredibly close to her, making her lose her focus. Kotaro finds a photo of himself in her room, and he is surprised that it is somewhat, and the other immediately snatches it away, excusing that she was just looking at him to gain extra motivation. Before he leaves, he tells her how happy it is to find her in a suitable house since she had financial problems back then. Shigur recalls how he invited her over to his home and tried out gaming for the first time, gaining a motivation to start playing games as well as finding her crush. Presently, she can only blame her impulses for acting strange before him, and informs everyone on the stream that she had a good time playing with a childhood friend. She forgets to stop streaming and starts masturbating to Kotaro's photo. By the time she realized her mistake, everyone had already seen everything. Due to this incident, her name became even more popular. As a teacher, Mizuki wants to be of service to his students as they are at a sensitive age, and he wants them to be open so he can help them in whatever way seems appropriate. Kotaro approaches him for advice regarding something that has been bothering him lately, and Mizuki feels that it must be something serious that he wants to tell him in private. He takes him to the counseling room so he can express himself fully. He informs Mizuki that he wants to groom himself properly since his favorite VTuber told her viewers that good hygiene makes a man attractive. He wants to know how to remove his pubic hair, and the other is embarrassed that he came to him without even knowing his gender. Kotaro doesn't really care whether he is a man, woman, or an alien. All he needs is a bit of help, and he saw no one more suitable than Mizuki for this kind of question. After hearing his compliments, Mizuki gets flustered and decides to fix his eyebrows and hair. Kotaro is surprised that the other agreed to fix it for him when he just wanted his advice. Mizuki instructs him to never ask a teacher about pubic removing, but since he came for his advice, he might just help him as well. Mizuki gets incredibly close to him, and he starts getting flustered. The other apologizes for his unbuttoned shirt and teases him since he said he doesn't care about his gender. Afterward, the girls notice his fixed hair and are disappointed with him since what makes him look badass is his clumsy hairstyle. Meanwhile, Mizuki is glad that he managed to help him out and overhears teachers talking about a certain student being ill. He is shocked to find that Fumi, the VTuber, is from their school. A popular second-year student confesses to Akari as he fell in love with her at first sight, but the other abruptly turns him down since she already has someone. The other is heartbroken, and other girls discuss how terrible it is to see him going for a girl who isn't that cute. Miho, another girl, tells them that Akari is a shady character who is connected with some bad guys. Akari hits Kotaro to invite him for a wrestling match, and the other is fully prepared this time. Akari is motivated to finish him off like she did when they were kids, but he assures her that he has been preparing for this occasion and he is looking forward to making a mess out of her. Their professor agrees to be the match referee, but Kotaro isn't sure whether he is good enough to do the task. As the match is about to start off, Akari informs him about the rules, giving him a significant advantage against her. However, Kotaro isn't the same child anymore, and he refuses it, instead giving her an advantage. The other girls can feel his doom is nigh, and even Akari advises him to take back his decision, but he is confident that he can overcome the task. As for their punishment, the winner can apply any wrestling technique to the other to make them suffer and scream in agony. As the referee blows the whistle, Akari realizes that his stance makes him incredibly difficult to be attacked. However, it doesn't matter to her, and she makes a move to tackle him, and the other is surprised by the quick aggression. Nonetheless, she has much to improve her finishing move, and he easily breaks free. Kotaro is surprised by another attack, and this time, he falls, giving points to Akari. Despite the victory, she was embarrassed that her heart started beating so fast just by touching him, and her body started trembling when he grabbed by her waist, making her forget that they were against each other. She has been charmed by him, and even though he wants a rematch, she tells him that she hasn't won just to get away. Kotaro notices her blushed face and inquires whether she has a fever, but the other doesn't want to be embarrassed and decides to give him a rematch. As he gets close to her for a tackle, she gets embarrassed and falls, making him the winner of the current round. The girls are shocked that Akari lost a game and realize that her expression is weird, just like a shoujo manga protagonist. Kotaro doesn't want her giving away points needlessly, but she stops him from getting close as her heart is about to burst off. Now that it is time for her punishment, he holds her hands and she starts moaning unnecessarily. She doesn't want him to touch her now that her body sensitivity has significantly increased, but he doesn't care about this and applies a technique on her. She is close to breaking off, but the girls step in as they can't see her being humiliated like this by a guy, and Kotaro informs them that he isn't a maniac who would enjoy such a thing. It was just a punishment they agreed on. Kotaro wants her to fight fiercely, and she resolves to beat him this time. She is surprised by his mid-air flip, and he takes advantage of the distraction by pushing her out of the circle. Akari assures him that she will give it her all from now on, and he loses every single round after that glare. Kotaro feels her long hair may get in her way and asks whether she feels comfortable with them. She is shocked at his question before leaving since she doesn't feel really good, though she asks him to hang around since his punishment is still due. Miho and the other girls approach him to make up a lie and tell him that Akari is dating different guys. Akari has forgotten her hair tie and heads back to the gym to get it back. She finds those girls around Kotaro and hides to listen to them. She is astonished that the girl is making up things about her going out with many men. Miho tells Kotaro that she occasionally goes out with motorcyclists and involves herself in various inappropriate stuff. She tries remembering what she means by the delinquents she is referring to and realizes that she is talking about her sisters, who just look athletic and fashionable. Kotaro doesn't really care about whatever they are saying and tells her that her hair tie is weird. To him, defeating Akari is all important right now, and he wouldn't like meddling in her life by inquiring whether she is going out with men. Hearing his response, Akari is somewhat disappointed since she did all this just so he would like her, but oh well. However, Kotaro tells them that what he isn't interested in is hearing them lie about her and reveals how much he admires her for always taking care of her and pursuing her passion. He doesn't want to hear anything from someone with a Wi-Fi-shaped hair clipper, and Miho runs away in shame. Afterward, he heads off to the gym, but Akari doesn't speak to him herself. Rather, her friend informs him that she doesn't want to punish him as her heart is throbbing too fast. He is too dumb to notice that she is madly in love with him. Akari gets home frustrated and immediately knocks her sisters off, who were glad to see her return safely just a minute back. She informs them about the ongoing rumor around the school that Miho spread and tells them to stop dressing more feminine. They hardly have a choice in this regard, as their father wants them to be tomboy-ish so they can focus completely on wrestling. Suddenly, their father comes out of the room, annoyed that Akari still hasn't cut off her long hair, and subjugates her for more training for rebelling against him. As to why this whole rebellion started in the first place, Akari was out to play with Kotaro and asked